Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Illusion Fox Gaming. Today we're going to do the Pelupelu story quest recruitment drive. Someone seems to be weighing heavily on Lipelu's mind. What am I going to do? I can't seem to find anyone to pick up up to the task. Oh, you have the wonderful habit of appearing exactly when I need you. I've got a problem on my hands. Don't worry, the agency's doing just fine. The Shire tours have been a runaway success. But if bookings stay steady, we'll soon recoup all the recent outlays. Well, that's actually the problem. The upper reaches of Kozumoaka are proving too popular. We're struggling to meet demand with our current number of tour guides. I want to address the issue before the burden starts wearing the staff down. You aren't aware of anyone in need of work who knows the region like the back of their hand, are you? I mean, the bands who kidnapped Don Servant Wuklama during the Rite of Succession. I'm sure they know the area well, but... Oh, hold on. I remember hearing about a group of miscreants who turned themselves into the Landsguard not long after the Ascension ceremony. Apparently they were later released on parole, so they're willing to atone for their crimes and genuinely wish to make a fresh start. My inner abacus is clacking away. It says we should speak with them at the very least. Just as trainer and our staff have former bandits give back to the community they wronged. Yes, yes, everyone stands to gain much from a potential arrangement. Would you be willing to help track down these bandits? I know I'd count on you. Let's head to the mini fires and see what we can glean from the locals. Yes, let us see what we can glean from them. My goodness, it's you. You came here with Don Servant Koana seeking information about the bandits that waylaid me. Is there anything I can help you with this time? You wish to know what happened to Wakisa and his band of brigands after all that? Well, gather they surrendered to the Landsguard. They even confessed the whereabouts of their stolen goods, so that everything might be returned to the rightful owners. Sure enough, my merchandise made its way back to me. Apparently some of their victims were so moved by the gesture that they petitioned the Landsguard for a more lenient sentence. Perhaps that's why Val Wuklama granted them parole. I don't know how they fared thence, but I've heard nothing to suggest they've been causing trouble. Anyhow, you have to excuse me. I must meet with a client in Urkapacha. I do hope we meet again someday. You seek news of the bandits let out on parole? Sneaky takers, the lot of them. They spread many bad feels in the village with their crimes. Cheese was not for them. Apparently they were eye-catched not so long ago. Mobby dreads to think about the inevitable recidivism. I hope they've had the time to reflect on the wrongness of dirty taking and are ready to make an honest living. Well, I would hope so too, but we'll only know by writing down every lead and trying to figure it out. Has Molly heard wind talk of bandits? I'm afraid not. These parts have been peaceful of late. Plenty of time for to fish. Oh, did I catch a scrawny fisher in the woods not far from Deceiver's Mantle? A Tonawata with crazy hair as bright as a jingly shine. I wonder who he was. Any news of our bandits? So they turned themselves in, returned the stolen goods, and are now living in the wilds after being pardoned. What's more, it seems they haven't fallen back into old habits. Let's wait for the woods to the south. That's where the angler spotted Wakesa, right? Hopefully we'll run into him there. Oh, I'm on the wrong side of this hill. Oops. Starting to think I'm not cut out for fishing, and a man can't live off scrounging berries forever. What to do? Ah, you're that solded devil with a soul sword. Listen, I turned myself in, even gave back what I stole. Put that life behind me for good. What more could you possibly want from me? And why should I trust you? You're here to get revenge for the kidnapping, aren't you? I assure you, as my associate says, we really do have a proposition for you. I'm Liplu. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'll get straight to the point. If you're serious about keeping to the straight and narrow and making amends for your past crimes, perhaps you'd like to work with us at the Torelli Travel Agency? Work for you? Ah, I see your scheme. Plotting to haul me off to the mines under the guise of employment, aren't you? Curse you, Blackhearts. I ate dirt to survive after I escaped. I won't set foot inside another mine while there's still breath in my lungs. Wait. That was unexpected. All that talk of mines, he seemed genuinely traumatized. I want to find out what happened to him. Hopefully that way we can clear up this misunderstanding and have a proper discussion. Desk, but could you find Wakesa and bring him back here? He was awfully fast, but I doubt he could outrun you. Well, that's because I have flying mounts that go faster generally than walking in most areas. Aha, there you are. Don't care how fast they are. They'll never find me here. What? How? Unbelievable. I ran full pelt and yet... what's the use? Yes, I know what we did was inexcusable. After it came to a head, we made an oath. An oath to never walk that path again. I won't bother another soul. I'll live out my days on the fringes. Please, just leave me be. You're saying this is all a misunderstanding? Well, it's clear there's no escaping you regardless. Fine, I'll hear you out and put my fate in your hands. Apologies for frightening you, Wakessa. That wasn't our intention. Are you willing to tell us why you fled? Before we get to that, I want you to be honest. Do you really have a proposition for me that doesn't involve dragging me back to those godforsaken mines? In that case, I'll be honest with you. Me and the rest of the gang first came here after fleeing Zoctoral. I'm sure I don't need to tell you, but Shaluoni's been a hotbed of development since they found blue gold beneath the plains. Among the folks that got their hands on a drilling permit, there were more than a few looking to get rich quick. The kind of despicable bastards who didn't think twice about sending kids into the tunnels, and we worked for the worst of the worst. Day after day, toiling and wasting away till we died or escaped, we eventually realized, so we smuggled ourselves out in empty cerulean barrels. You can imagine what happened next. The withdrawal of a foreman tried to hunt us down, so we fled to Kozumawaka and took to banditry. As much to conceal our identities as to make ends meet. Right or wrong be damned, we would survive, but when we heard that Dawn Servant Waklamal spoke of our plight during the Ascension ceremony, we decided to turn ourselves in. After a time, she showed us mercy and gave us a pardon. Even so, there's still that fear of what might happen if the foreman or his lackeys were to find us. Thank you for sharing your story and telling me of the struggles you and your friends have experienced. Let me assure you that I do not wish to blind you with contracts or chains. I offer only the opportunity for you and your comrades to provide for yourselves, to make an honest living on your own terms. So, how about it? How does working at the Torelli Travel Agency sound? That's more than any of us dared hope for, but if word got back to the foreman, if someone shows up to haul us away and we drag you into our affairs, I need to look into it to be sure, but I honestly don't think there's much chance of that happening. Thanks to the efforts of the Dust Watch and the Daybreakers, Shaluoni is no longer the lawless place it used to be. Besides, I've been working on a plan to help reintegrate former outlaws into society. I'll be sounding out the wing of reflection to see if they can't support the initiative. I'm sure the new Dawn servants will give their blessing. Incredible, but it feels like we should be begging you for the opportunity. We've burned so many bridges. I'm like damn sure you don't regret this. That said, what exactly are we supposed to do for you? About all we're good for is manual labor and pathfinding. Though I do also know my way around a cook fire after feeding miners for all those years. This wasn't part of the plan per se, but I think your culinary skills might come in handy. A restaurant on site could be a real earner. As for your comrades, we've been looking for individuals with an intimate knowledge of upstream Kozumawaka, who are also capable of handling themselves. My plan was to employ them as guides turned protectors after a thorough assessment and proper training. I'd say about time we got back and continued the preparation. Wakessa can meet us back at the agency in Doc Pogo once he contacts his friends. Looking back, I reached out to the Wing of Reflection and it was just as I thought. It seems Wakessa's fears were unfounded. The situation in the sterling fields has changed dramatically in the past few years. Groups like the Daybreakers put an end to the practice of child labor, and the Dustwatch have all but stamped out the violent duels that used to be so common. As for the company you and your comrades worked for, they have long since been shut down by the Daybreakers. For its part, the Wing of Reflection committed to the restoration and preservation of law and order in Shaluoni. And any new unscrupulous drilling operations are swiftly dealt with. You needn't worry about anyone coming after you. Thank the heavens for that. In that case, we can commit to doing our part in repaying our debts. We decided to set aside some of our earnings and repay folk for all the hurt we caused, you see. Wonderful, simply wonderful. It's a pleasure to have you on board. Excuse me. Okay, and so that was the fourth Pelupelu story quest. Thank you for joining us here today for this little video here on YouTube. Hopefully we'll see you again either for another video on YouTube or maybe one of our mini streams over on Twitch at the same channel name. Till then though, have a wonderful rest of your day.